I'm Dr. Ellie Jameson and this is my assistant Lily. Yeah, what's your name again?
Lily.
Lily, that's it, yeah. So today Lily has been learning about worms this week, so Lily wants to do a lesson about worms. So what are worms and why are they important? So worms, or earthworms is what we're going to be learning about this week, are the long wriggly pink things which live in soil. So do you know what's special about these type of animals, Lily? Do you know what do you know about them?
That they like not not the sunlight. They like it to be hot and a bit cold.
Yeah. So because they've got nice, wet, squishy skin, haven't they? And they're nice things for birds to eat. They like to be away from the sunlight. So they like to be underneath the soil, and they have wet skins. So they don't want to get dried out, and they breathe through their skin, which is why it needs to be wet. So earthworms are invertebrates, which means what don't they have in their bodies, Lily?
They don't have bones.
Yeah, they don't have any bones.
Or backbones.
Yeah, they don't have backbones like we do in other animals which have hard parts to us. So our arms don't bend in the middle. We've got an elbow which bends, but this bit doesn't bend because we've got a solid bone in the middle. But an earthworm, it's all wiggly and wobbly, so it can all move because they're invertebrate animals. So they have these long soft bodies and they breathe through their skin. And they also have different segments all the way along their body, and each segment has some little bristles on, and this helps the earthworms to be able to move through soil. So they can squish their bodies up and then stretch out, and when they stretch out, those bristles stick into the side of their burrows and help them push forwards and move through the soil. So earthworms are really good for healthy soil. So what do they do for the soil, Lily?
They can help plants and trees.
Yeah, so what things do they bring into that soil that helps the plants and trees?
They put oxygen.
Yeah, so they make little burrows and holes through the soil which lets oxygen come through the soil, and they can break down dead, rotting plant and animal material and help make it into nutrients that the plants can use around them.
And if they eat something, they poop it out and it's soil.
Yeah, they poop out soil that's really good for those plants and has everything the plants need in. So there's lots of different types of earthworms. So do you know how many different types of earthworms there are?
Nearly 3,000.
Yeah, nearly 3,000 different species of earthworms. And how long do the earthworms live, Lily?
They live for about a year or less.
Yeah, and they can live for up to 5 to 10 years, the oldest earthworms. And a lot of the ones in our garden are quite small, aren't they? But how long is the longest earthworm? Do you remember?
180.
180 feet long, which is about 50 metres long. So that's about 25 really tall people lying end to end, and that's the longest earthworm that's been found on our planet. So we know that earthworms are really good for the soil and they help plants out. And earthworms, when they come up to the surface, which they often do when it's been raining and the earth's nice and soft and maybe there isn't that much oxygen in the soil, they come up to the surface. And what might eat them when they come up to the surface?
The birds.
Yeah,
or if
birds.
they're under the plants, the birds won't get them.
Yeah, they might not be seen if they're under the plants, but birds, and we've seen a lot of blackbirds in our garden which like to eat the earthworms, and it helps keep the birds healthy. So they're good for the soil, they're food for birds, and they don't want to be eaten, so they stay away. And also, so if they want to make babies, do you know how they make babies, Lily?
They stick together, then like they can take 3 weeks doing it or more.
Yeah.
So then they get the eggs in some so they will be a cocoon, then they'll turn into some worms.
Oh, very good. Lily knows lots about how to make new earthworms. So you need 2 earthworms to make baby earthworms, but earthworms are hermaphrodites, which means they've all got both male and female parts. So any 2 earthworms can come together and make new baby earthworms and make the eggs
So
hatch out. And the eggs may take between 3 weeks and a year to hatch out. And Lily's got something more important to tell us.
that so it can be a female and a female, or a male and a male, or it can be both.
Yeah, so the earthworms have both female parts in the same worm as male parts. So half of the worm parts are female and half the worm parts are male. So any two worms can come together, and any one of those two can have the eggs and make the cocoon. Okay, so we're going to go searching in our soil now for some earthworms, yeah, because we're out here so that we can dig through our soil and see if there are some earthworms, and we've dug up a couple earlier on today, so hopefully they're still in there. And Lily's going to get out what you're going to use, the fork. Yeah, so the fork's good because it doesn't cut the earthworms up. So you might have heard that if you cut an earthworm in half, both of those will go on to be new earthworms. It doesn't really work like that. If you cut an earthworm in half and the front part has all the bits of its body that it needs, it can regrow its tail, but the tail that gets cut off won't be able to make a new earthworm. So we've got to be careful not to cut them apart because it does hurt them, and then we won't get two new earthworms. So Lily's going to use the fork because then it doesn't cut them so much. And we're going to dig in here and see what earthworms we can dig out, aren't we, Lily?
Yeah.
So you can see a lot of your hair now. Hopefully you can see the digging. Right, you concentrate on your digging and tell me if you see any earthworms, Lily. Oh, there's one, Lily. Can you see it?
No. Okay.
It's just over here. So we've got our first little earthworm. Ooh, wriggling around in my hand. Oh, there's another one. Got you. Another little earthworm.
I like really good.
Right, should we measure these ones and see if we've got the longest earthworm in the world, Lily? Do you think they're going to be over 180 feet long? Do you think we're going to have a 50-metre long earthworm?
No.
No? Let's see how long they are then. How long are the ones in our garden? Right.
It's very small.
Very small? No,
Yeah.
these are giant earthworms.
No, they are.
Right, now let's see. So, can you hold it like that so that it can see the earthworm in my hand? Let's see how long this earthworm is. Right, so we can do it in centimetres. So, our earthworm is, well, it's about 4 centimetres when it's all curled up, but how long is it when it stretches out to try and move away? It's probably about 6 centimetres long, that one.
So,
I think these earthworms want to be back in the soil though, don't they?
not that
Ooh.
long.
No, not the longest in the world. Oh, that one might... Are you going to put them back in the soil then to keep them nice? Oh, we'll see how long this one is. I think this one just wants to curl up on itself though. It doesn't really want to be measured. It wants to be back in the soil. So the pink ones are really good at stretching out and being long, and these yellowy brown ones just want to curl up into little balls. How long do you think? That's 2 centimetres when it's all curled up. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So have some fun looking for your own worms in your own garden and tell us what the longest worms are that you can find. Okay, bye-bye. See you next week.